Hello, my name is Recky, and welcome back for another military reaction. Um, if I'm not completely mistaken, November 1st is the United States Marine Corps birthday, and there is suggested. This video was suggested by one of my patrons, and Juanita. Thank you so much for this one. This is the 248th Marine Corps birthday message. Is of course from the channel Marines. If you haven't checked out the channel Marines, you find the link in the description, as well as with this video we're gonna watch. So go there and give them the support that they so much deserve. And it kind of blew me away that we're talking about a Marine Corps and its 248 years. Let that sink in for a bit. Let's let that thought linger in your head for just a couple of seconds. You realize that 248 years the United States Marine Corps has been alive and kicking some butt. And it's something that is really, for me it's actually kind of overwhelming to think that this is. I'm super eager to actually watch this video, and if you do enjoy this type of reactions, you gotta let me know by smacking the like and of course hitting that subscribe. And if there's anything else you want me to check out, maybe when it comes to the Marine Corps, let me know. And of course, happy birthday to United States Marine Corps on your 248th birthday, and still kicking hard. Before we watch, we say thank you so much to the channel members and the patrons. Thank you so much for the incredible support. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to my supreme tier donators over by Patreon and, of course, on a channel membership. You guys rock. Really appreciate it. Ultimate supporters, only available on Patreon. Personal shout outs to Deja, Walt, Roni, Dwayne, Kevin, Dana, Troy, Sarah, Robert, Matt, Tracy, Lon, and Barbara. I feel like I messed that up. How can you do that? It's just names, Recky. And of course, if the video you see have some kind of a blockage or something like that, it's because the video might get copyright blocked. Hopefully it hasn't done that. There's no intent of infringement here. Let's do this. Civis pacem. Is it pacem or pacem? Parabellum. If you desire peace, prepare for war. Oh, I got goosebumps on that.
To this day, young men and women choose to raise their right hand and swear an oath to something greater than themselves.
I'm loving the intensity in this video. It's a bit loud for me. My head is exploding here. I'm loving the intensity. I love that we can get an insight on the air, land, and sea. I love that.
If I was gonna die with my boots on. Let's do it.
One thing I do know, almost I am very sure of when it comes to Sweden and Swedes, and not if you actually are active on duty or anything like that, but the common Swede don't know the size of Marine Corps. I think most of them, I think I did when I was growing up. I was always, in my mind, the Marine Corps was a small bunch of group, like a squad size or a company size that was basically like a special forces. Later in life, of course, I found out the Marine Corps, it's its own branch, and I love to talk about people when, especially here in Sweden, when they ask me what I do, kind of reactions, and they get super surprised that, of course, my knowledge is super so great compared to them, of course, but then we talk about things that they don't really know about. And one thing is actually one of the Marine Corps questions that they get completely blown away. I'm telling them that they have everything you possibly need to wage war all by yourself, or even deterrence, or in defense, of course.
Combat is ugly.
You see, I don't like this. Hey, you wanna go to a flashlight? He's gone. How you know? He was laying. Because he was laying right there. He's not there no more.
Shit.
I shot him like 5 times when I came back.
If you think combat is great, then you haven't been there.
Definitely not.
So we were taking fire all day long. Lieutenant Calvin bent over to grab his radio. A tracer round came through the left armhole of his flak jacket and out the right armhole. It just barely penetrated the skin.
Oh my.
The crazy thing was that when he was a young enlisted Marine, he got a tattoo on his back that said Marine, and the tracer underlined the word Marine. That's the kind of story that people won't believe.
No, doesn't get any more gun-ho than that. There's something missing with that tattoo, so let's underline it with a freaking bullet.
Unless you show it to him.
I've been shot a few times and blown up and stabbed. I owe my life to
3-time Purple Heart.
Those are unsung heroes.
When you're in a battle and you're wounded, but you know you can still pull a trigger, the thing that keeps you going is the man to your left and the man to your right.
Since its birth, the Marine Corps has sought to find those exceptional individuals who embody the qualities of toughness, grit, honor, courage, and commitment. Qualities required of a professional warfighting force that is not only capable, but willing to do the hard things on behalf of the nation.
Victory in every climb and place does not happen by chance. From the unforgiving jungles of the South Pacific, to the snow-covered mountains of Korea, to the bloody streets of Hue and Fallujah, Marines have prevailed because they had moral courage, steel backbones, and a ruthless commitment to a tradition of excellence.
And this is something I'm not gonna. It's kind of hard to compare Sweden, and because we don't have that type of Marine Corps, we have special forces, of course. When I think about the Marine Corps, I think about the guys who gets thrown in the worst shit you can possibly imagine. I'm not in any way letting you know that I think that Army or the Navy or whatever does less. But when I think about the Marine Corps, I always think about this is the ones that we send into shit places like Peleliu and deep down in Fallujah and all those spaces and all those places that the common folk doesn't want to be near, and of course doesn't even want to read about because it's too frightening to do.
And with preparation comes confidence. The more prepared you are, the more you rehearse, the more you drill, the more confident you get. And so we're ready to go.
The Marine Standard is the only standard, and discipline is the currency of our Corps. This is the bedrock of our ethos, and what makes us unique from any other fighting force in the world.
Discipline and being lethal, I see it every single day, from the fire team to the squad to the platoon level, when the Marines are running up recon, running through the load trail, going to the dojo, making themselves more lethal and fit. And that directly correlates to when we go do, Rangers 400 or do a company cliff assault. And that's only going to continue to bleed on when they go overseas and take care of business.
Today, we continue to prepare for the next fight. And while the faces, weapons, and formations are new, the fighting spirit of the individual Marine has never changed. When the nation calls and the orders given to send in the Marines, every friend and every foe understands that help or destruction is on the way.
Right now we have more capabilities than we ever had in the past, from weapon systems, platforms, and technology to able to be lighter and faster and more lethal.
As Marines, we do not decide when the next fight will come, but we do decide who wins.
The Marines who came before have paved the way. They prevailed against all odds, in the face of unimaginable hardship, and yet they kept their humanity. They kept their honor clean.
The character of war will change. The battlefield will evolve, and the equipment will modernize. But the warrior ethos of our Corps stands firm. We do not simply say that we're first to fight. We work hard every day to prove it.
To our adversaries, I would say if you see that U.S. Marines and you see that MARPAD, I would say you better stand by. Because if you don't think these Marines are working every single day to better their craft and skills, you got another thing coming. Because
one thing, I don't know if it's a creed in the Marine Corps or just in general when it comes to the United States Armed Forces, that you never stop improving yourself in anything, in any way. Just keep on. One thing that they said, that you get more confident when you drill, you train until it's just part of your backbone. You don't have to think about it. It's just like a normal reaction because you did this 1,000 upon thousands of times. So every situation that you actually come across is more or less already embedded in your spine. And I'm going to tell you right now, that gives me the most sickest goosebumps ever, to be honest.
these Marines aren't going to stop until the mission is accomplished and you're destroyed.
It's funny when you're a Lance Corporal and you got combat action, Navy Unit Commendation, Marine Corps Expeditionary Medal, and a Sea Service, and they look at you like, where have you been? Nowhere. I just went where the Marine Corps sent me.
We are people who are dedicated to the service to others. If there's somebody that's in trouble.
50th anniversary of the Pusan Parameter counteroffensive. This memorial is dedicated to the Marines and the sailors of the 5th Marine Regiment, the Fire Brigade, who fought and gave their life during counteroffensives at the Pusan Parameter, Korea, August to September 1950.
A Marine is not going to turn and walk away. They're going to do whatever's necessary, to the point of giving their life.
Admiral Chester Nimitz said about Iwo Jima, uncommon valor was a common virtue. The stories I hear at reunions should be on Silver Star citations.
The Marine Corps history is very important, and I'm glad that it's still being taught. I'm glad that my fellow Marines that didn't come back are being remembered, are being discussed in squad bays till this day.
Marines are tough. I think there's something about a young man or young woman who comes into the Marine Corps that they perhaps were born with and didn't even know it.
You can do it. You can do it all. You are capable more than you think, and there are so many people in the Marine Corps who...
So she was a CWO, and if I'm not completely mistaken, that was Chief Warrant Officer 2, and I think there's Chief Warrant Officer 1, 2, 3. I think. I might be completely wrong. And this is exclusively to the Marines. I think. Help me out with that one. Chief Warrant Officer, is that a rank that is only available in the Marines? Or is it available? Could be Navy. Maybe Air Force. Let me know.
Want to enable that. You're now fighting for your brothers and sisters.
what was common then, and from what I can tell, what's common now is the camaraderie. You watch my back, I'll watch your back. Don't want to let people down on either side of you.
There's no better thing than camaraderie and talking through it and sharing certain pieces with individuals, because it creates a bond that is unbreakable.
Everybody wants to be a champion. Everybody really wants to be part of the best.
Marines, you are the strength of our corps, and your actions determine the fate of millions of future warriors and their ability to stand on your shoulders. I know that you're ready.
As we come together to celebrate our 248th birthday, I encourage every Marine to reflect on our history and think about the moment when you ask yourself, do I have what it takes? You are on the journey that few have dared to begin.
Take pride in what you represent. You are the pinnacle of professional warriors and the model for others to follow. Sergeant Major Ruiz and I are proud to stand among you, and we'll be with you every step of the way. Happy birthday, Marines, and Semper Fidelis.
We're Marines till we die. And we require a 2-week notice for that.
It was in a weird way, it was actually really overwhelming for me. I can actually feel like it's a thing when they talk to older people. I'm talking about the ones that served in Korea, maybe even go back to the Second World War. There's not a lot of them left, unfortunately. It's really hard to hear them talk because they are living in the moment since that day, and they live in that situation since that day still, and like all of them veterans do. And I know I say this every time, but thank you for your service, for your sacrifice, for the fight for our freedom and, of course, our safety. God bless. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Recky. You stay safe.